Alright guys, so today we're going to start a video on how to European mount a deer. Nobody has ever done a video on that, so I'm just kidding. There's like a gazillion videos on how to European mount a deer. Not that my way is better, not that my way is more advanced, anything like that. Nothing crazy. Just thought, hey, it's a cool video to make, and I'm really big on showing respect to the animals you kill. I've said that before. So today just got a little 4-point, but there's no reason, just because he doesn't have a big impressive 10-12 point rack or anything, that he can't be shown the respect that he deserves. We're actually going to have some backstrap tonight that came from him. So I wanted to get started. So he's been in my freezer for probably a month. So earlier today I put him in a bucket of water. I think that's a good way to thaw them out. It's chilly here. I think the temperature didn't get out of the 40s today, so I just put him in a bucket of water. It helps draw a lot of that blood out, kind of slowly bring him up to temperature, to loosen up all that tissue. So then I sat him out, let him kind of drain before I brought him in here. Normally I do this outside. I would suggest doing it outside, but it's so dark so quickly here that we brought him in, and so the lighting's not that great, but we'll get started and hope you guys enjoy it. Alright guys, sorry again, I know the lighting's terrible. So just to start, we're going to start going right up his snout, just making an incision right here at his nose. You can go up, down, but sometimes it's kind of soft tissue, so it kind of helps to start right there, and you can feel the bone. And we're just going to start sliding up that bone, right up the middle. Just press your knife down. You'll feel the bone as you go up, right up the top of his head, and you'll kind of break off to the ear. And then just start working it all off. If you feel something hard, that's good, that's bone, that's when you stop. If it's soft, just keep cutting away. And you just got to make all this extra tissue that you can, all the fur, everything kind of go away. Alright guys, well, it's a little windy, I apologize for that. But so last night in the shop I finished getting the deer head skinned out, got as much of the extra tissue off as possible. And so today I just brought her out, hooked up the old turkey fryer, and kind of just filled up right above the head right above the top of the skull with water. Put a scoop of OxiClean. The OxiClean just helps break down that fat in the skull. Yeah, it acts as a degreaser. So got that going. We're just gonna bring this up to a boil and let it simmer for a while until that meat starts to come off the bone, and we'll kind of pull it up periodically to take a look at it. It should start, you can tell it's already starting to bubble and foam. That's good, it's doing what it should do. And then we'll get ready and set up to take the pressure washer and start taking all that tissue off. Alright guys, so after you get the skull good and clean, I just went ahead and got it totally ready and actually already in the peroxide, and I'm just kind of tell you how I went about doing that. So once I got it good and clean, I brought it in and I took saran wrap and wrapped up the horns, and then took electrical tape and wrapped around that, just kind of hold the saran wrap in place, and you don't want the glue from that tape getting on your horn. You will, no matter how great of a job you do wrapping your horn, you will still get bleaching up that pedicle. That's just part of it. So after we take it out of the peroxide here in a few days, I'll show you how to touch it up. But then I just put it in one of these clear plastic shoe boxes you buy for like $1, and then I take a this is just washcloth, and I lay it over the top, and then what that's going to do is kind of wick the peroxide up onto the top of the skull, and it also kind of helps weight the skull down. When you do that, it doesn't the snout doesn't really drift up off the bottom as much. It kind of just keeps it stable. So I do that, and as far as my peroxide, I just use a 3% hydrogen peroxide. It's like $1 a bottle. I put 4 bottles in here. I could probably get by with less, but it's $1, so I just go ahead and do the 4 bottles. And peroxide will react with sunlight and eventually will just kind of dissipate into water. So this is really only good for one usage, $1. So what I'll do is I'll leave it for like 3 days. It's probably as white as it needs to be in 2 days, but I normally just do 3 days. Like, I'll work the next 3 days, so I just go ahead and get it fixed today, let it sit the next 3 days, and then we'll go from there. We'll pull it out and show you what it looks like. Alright guys, it's been 3 days since we got the deer skull put in the peroxide, and now it's time to go ahead and pour that peroxide off and see what the finished product looks like. Hopefully it's done its job. Hopefully we're going to have an awesome skull. Let's dump those off there. Yeah, check it out. I think it looks pretty sweet. That little spot on the crown should dry pretty white. So now I'm just going to take it, wash her off good, and we'll see you guys on the next step. Alright guys, there she is. Without any further delay, there's the finished product. Just pulled her out of the peroxide, washed her off good. Take a knife. There'll be cartilage left at a few places, like around the bottom of the horns here, around the pedicles. There may be some various little places that has cartilage. You'll be able to see it. Scrape that off because that will turn yellow over time. Once you do that, like I said, you will get a little bit of horn bleaching from the peroxide, no matter how good of a job you do. If that happens, pick up a little Minwax. The color I use is Provincial. It's going to set you back quite a bit. It's about $5. So, and it takes, I mean, you take a Q-tip and get what little bit of stain is like stuck to the lid, and that's more than enough to touch up the spots you need. So like $5, pick that up at Lowe's, not a problem. And it blends in perfectly. I'm not going to tell you whether I put it on these horns or not, but I did. Okay, I'll tell you, I did. And honestly, you can't tell a difference from, I didn't have to do a lot, but you can't tell a difference from what is his natural horn color to what color I use this, what spots I use this Minwax on. After that, a little Mop and Glow. I know that might sound crazy, but I just take that, put it in a little cup, brush it on. I actually run some down through the sinuses, and it just gives it a nice citrus smell, and it helps seal that bone. If you don't, it doesn't really give it much shine. Some folks don't like that. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't really give it a lot of shine, personally, I don't think. But I do like the fact that it gives it a nice citrus smell, and also kind of helps keep dust and things from settling on it because bone is really porous. But anyways guys, that's how simple it is. I don't think there's any reason that, any kind of reason or that should keep you from trying this on your own. I mean, it's really pretty simple. Just take your time. If you get to a point where you get frustrated or lose interest, just put it up, wait a little bit, come back to it. But yeah guys, just a few days, we went from freezer deer skull to European mount. Hope you like it.